I realized I don't want my sister to be happy, and I had to say it out loud to my family.
Alright. This story is called, Update, Am I the Asshole for Not Being Excited My Sister Is Having a... Let me read this to you.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Let's hear it.
Update, am I the asshole for not being excited my sister is having a new baby when I still have custody of her first?
Oh no, wait, she's still raising her sister's first child? So Val just had a kid and then what, checked out?
Right, that's the context we need before we hear anything else.
Indeed. Let's hear the full picture, shall we? Hi. I noticed a lot of people either DM'd me asking for updates or put the update me here thing in the comments, so I thought I would come and post one. I was really touched by people sharing their personal experiences in the comments as well, so I just wanted to respect that by providing closure on this. If you would consider this closure. Anyway, on to the update.
See that? So she noticed people wanted updates and decided to give them closure. That's like the most Reddit thing ever. I saw your comments requesting updates. Here's my therapeutic journey.
I'm screaming. I was really touched by people sharing their personal experiences. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Now this is where it gets interesting. First, my husband told Danny about the baby. They went out for a boys' day on Saturday and they talked about it. I won't share too much about it, but he took it pretty well, all things considered. We do think we will book a few sessions with a therapist for him, but we want the dust to settle a little bit. Danny opens up easier when he's had some time to himself to think about things first, so we're going to give a couple of weeks. But he's doing well for now.
Okay, so the husband handled it relatively well. That's actually the smart move. But I'm curious what Val was thinking calling a family meeting about this instead of, talking to the person raising her kid one-on-one first.
See, this is what gets me, the setup matters, and the setup here was messy.
And it only gets messier from here.
A boys' day to talk about the baby you're not raising. Let me process my sister's trauma bonding over wings and beer.
Next, I spoke to my mum. A lot of people were quite harsh on her, which I don't think was deserved, but I did feel like we needed to have a conversation. My mother is the kindest and most forgiving person on the planet, and I love that about her. The same way I saw what Danny went through, she saw what Val went through with her birth mother. I look at Danny and see a scared little 6-year-old. My mum looks at Val and sees a traumatized teenager. So she has a different perspective. She's pretty all's well that ends well in mindset. She always has been. She likes happy endings. In her mind this is one. But she understands that she came across really flippant about what Danny went through, and she does feel bad about it in hindsight. She adores Danny, so me laying it out for her all over again really affected her, and she saw where I was coming from being upset. She did say she still hopes that Val is a better mother to her new baby, and at least we can both agree on that.
Wait, so the mum got harsh comments, but she's the kindest and most forgiving person on the planet. I feel like Reddit was about to learn a lesson here.
Haha. Right? Everyone was ready to crucify her, and the original posters like actually she's a saint. I had to talk to her.
Okay, so get this.
Probably, hey, I see what Val did, I see why you're hurt, and I'm still her mum but I'm also your mum, kind of thing. That's actually what good parenting looks like here.
Probably, hey, I see what Val did, I see why you're hurt, and I'm still her mum but I'm also your mum, kind of thing. That's actually what good parenting looks like here.
Now this is where it gets interesting.
Yikes.
Finally I spoke to Val. She apologized for not telling me beforehand, but said she felt like she needed the support of having our parents there because she was nervous to tell me, and felt if we were all on the call it might feel a bit more like a normal, joyful occasion, but she said she knew she should have spoken to me separately. She said she will always regret the things she did while not sober, and she doesn't think Danny should ever forgive her, but she always wanted to be a mother, and she finally feels like she will be a good one now. I was listening to all this thinking I was just going to leave things where they were and stop reaching out. But then she basically said after everything, don't I want her to be happy?
Let me break this down. She felt nervous, so she needed backup. so she blindsided the actual person affected? That's not support, that's a strategy.
Haha. Right? She didn't need the parents there for Val's emotional support, she needed them there as a buffer.
And now we get to the bit where it all comes apart.
Okay, but here's what I'm seeing. Val knows she messed up, she knows that the original poster has every right to be hurt, and instead of owning that, she's trying to make it a joyful occasion. You can't just sprinkle family on an apology and call it good. The original poster has legitimate reasons to be cautious here.
And the fact that Val needed her parents as a shield instead of just facing it? That tells you everything about whether she's actually taking accountability. She felt nervous, so she needed backup. That's not asking for support, that's asking for character witnesses.
And here's where I have to admit to maybe being a bad person, but viscerally, I wanted to answer no. And I realized the answer is actually no, I don't want Val to be happy. I want her to be sober and healthy, and I guess to have moments of happiness. But when I think of her living a happy life, I know that isn't what I would choose for her. I know that makes me a bad person, and I'm actually okay with that. People can judge me, I don't care. Because they didn't have to walk into some dingy government building and see a child with bones sticking out of his t-shirt, scared of every loud noise, and take him home and watch him hide cold fries under his mattress in case there wasn't food to eat tomorrow. They didn't have to teach a 6-year-old the alphabet. They didn't have to look at him crying for his mother and figure out how to tell him you don't know where she is, thinking to yourself how sad it is she's all he cares about when she's somewhere not giving a crap what's happening to him. The worst things Val ever did, she did to someone I love beyond measure, and it's not for me to decide who deserves to be happy, but I can't say I hope she is.
If you want to hear how this ends, make sure you follow FPM Stories so you don't miss the next one.
Wait, did they really just say they don't want Val to be happy? Like, out loud? I need to process this because that's a moment.
That's not a bad person moment, that's actually honesty.
Well, they admitted they had to get there first.
At least she's honest about it. I don't want you to be happy hits different than pretending to be thrilled.
Sheesh.
Obviously I didn't have all this clarity during the phone call, but I did have enough to be honest and say my family and I were not in a place where it would be possible to engage with her anymore. She didn't take this well, and a lot of stuff she's been hanging on to came up. Like how I should have tried harder to get Danny to talk to her, how she felt I wasn't present enough when she had Danny, all stuff from years ago. She called me spiteful, and her boyfriend later sent me a message saying the same, but it had to be done. I don't want to be in this toxic cycle of actively wishing someone doesn't have the life they want and keeping them in my life just to stir this up every few weeks. It's too much bad energy being put out there. I ended up blocking both Val and her BF.
And then Val pulls out all the stuff she's been hanging on to, like emotional ammunition she's been saving for this exact moment. That call went sideways fast.
You did not just say that. Oh no, that's manipulation fuel right there. She brought up everything? The whole arsenal?
Huh. Alright, so then.
And then Val just unloads everything she's been holding on to. That's not an apology, that's a counterattack.
Exactly. The moment she brought up all the old stuff instead of just accepting the boundary, she proved that the original poster's point for them.
Alright, so then.
Oh hell no.
I let my parents know that we'll have to do separate holidays and functions from now on, and they were very understanding. I'm happy to give Val priority on stuff with her dad's side of the family and she can do the same with my mum's, and that's that. My parents also promised not to give updates unless asked, to either side.
So they've essentially said we're done and set a boundary that means separate holidays permanently? That's the full extinction level event for this relationship.
I mean, it might be the healthiest thing for everyone here, but damn, that's still rough.
And that brings us to the actual conclusion.
Let me break this down. They set a boundary that's clean, clear, and final. Separate holidays, separate family functions, no updates. That's not cruel, that's actually the only way this works if the original poster can't be around Val without resentment. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is step back.
And the fact that the parents understood? That means they see it too.
But here's the thing. I'm not really sure if I'd say this is a happy update. But I think the positive I can take from this is it's made me very grateful for the family I have, and I'm just going to focus on being the best mother and wife to them that I can be.
This isn't a happy update, but it might be the most real one. Sometimes the best outcome is just knowing where you stand.
Thank you again to everyone who commented, and if I've left anything out, feel free to let me know.
The original poster isn't a bad person. They're a guardian protecting both a child and their own mental health. Val made choices that broke trust, and instead of actually repairing that damage, she tried to bypass it with a family ambush. Sometimes, "I don't want this relationship right now," is the most honest and necessary thing you can say.
This is one of those updates where nobody gets a fairy tale ending, but everybody gets clarity, and that matters. The original poster did the hard work of being honest about what they actually feel instead of performing forgiveness they don't have yet. That's not cruel, that's integrity. And Val needs to sit with the consequences of her choices, not try to talk her way around them. Follow FPM Stories. We post every single day. Drop your verdict in the comments.
Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.